The United States and China are the world's two most powerful countries, shaping global events with every move they make. Their influence stretches across continents, affecting everything from politics and economics to culture and technology. When these two giants act, the world pays attention. Their economies are deeply connected. Think of all the products you use every day, from phones to clothes, made possible by this partnership. American ideas and Chinese manufacturing are woven together, creating a global supply chain that touches nearly every aspect of modern life. The choices made in Beijing and Washington ripple out to stores, factories, and homes around the world. But they're also rivals, clashing over how the world should work, who leads, and whose values matter most. Each side wants to set the rules for the future, and their visions often collide, leading to fierce debates and high-stakes negotiations. The US is a democracy, where leaders are chosen by the people. China is a one-party state, where power is tightly controlled. These systems shape not just their own societies, but also how they interact with the rest of the world. These differences fuel constant competition in trade, technology, and military power. Each country is determined to come out on top, investing billions in innovation, defense, and global influence. Imagine two people in a boat. They must row together to move forward, but both want to steer. Cooperation is necessary, but rivalry is always just beneath the surface, making every decision a delicate balancing act. China's rapid rise, building its military, expanding influence, and leading in tech, has unsettled the old balance. The world is watching as China challenges the status quo, seeking a bigger role on the global stage. Even small disputes can shake global markets. Big ones can threaten peace. The stakes are high, and the consequences of missteps can be felt everywhere, from Wall Street to rural villages. Right now, in October 2025, tensions are high over technology, trade, and Taiwan. Each issue is a flashpoint, with the potential to escalate into something much bigger. The Trump administration and President Xi Jinping are locked in a high-stakes showdown, each side determined not to back down. The world is watching their every move, waiting to see who will blink first. What happens next will shape the world for years to come. The outcome of this rivalry will influence not just governments, but the lives of ordinary people everywhere. Understanding this conflict is crucial for everyone, because its impact reaches far beyond the headlines. The future of the world may depend on how these two giants choose to act. In global politics, a red line is a warning. Cross it, and there will be serious consequences. It's not a real line, but a signal that a country's patience has run out. Crossing a red line can mean economic penalties, or even military conflict. Leaders use this term carefully because failing to act after drawing one can make a country look weak. Both the US and China are now talking about red lines, over technology, trade, and especially Taiwan. The Trump administration has set limits on China's access to American tech. President Xi has drawn his own red line, particularly regarding Taiwan and US trade rules. The world is watching. Will these warnings be respected, or will someone cross the line? The stakes are enormous. This is why the current moment feels so tense. The Trump administration has taken a bold step, one that is sending shockwaves through the global technology industry and international relations. For the first time, the US is blocking China from accessing the most advanced American technology, drawing a clear boundary in the sand. These new export controls specifically target semiconductors, the brains of modern electronics, and artificial intelligence, which is rapidly transforming industries worldwide. The US and its closest allies are at the forefront of producing these high-end chips, and they're increasingly worried that China could use them to power advanced weapon systems or expand its surveillance state. By restricting chip sales and cutting off key technology, the US hopes to slow China's military and technological progress. Artificial intelligence is another critical battleground in this contest for global influence. Whoever leads in AI will likely dominate the future, economically, militarily, and even culturally, shaping the next era of global power. The new rules are designed to keep China from using American software, equipment, and expertise to build its own world-class AI capabilities. The Trump administration frames this as a matter of national security, not just economics or business competition. For years, the US has watched China's ambitious Made in China 2025 plan with growing concern, seeing it as a direct challenge to American technological leadership. Now, America is drawing a firm line. It won't help China build tools that could one day be used against US interests or global stability. This is a major escalation in the ongoing tech rivalry, with both sides preparing for a long-term contest. The message is clear. America is determined to protect its technological edge, whatever the cost. The world is watching closely to see how China will respond, and what this means for the future of global technology. The stakes couldn't be higher, as the outcome of this tech standoff could shape the balance of power for decades to come. China didn't stay silent. President Xi Jinping quickly condemned the U.S. tech restrictions, calling them technological bullying. Xi warned that if the U.S. tightens its blockade, China will retaliate, possibly reigniting a trade war. This could end the fragile truce, raising prices and hurting businesses worldwide. Xi's message: China won't accept limits on its growth or future. He's pushing for self-reliance, urging Chinese scientists to develop their own chips and AI. For China, this is about sovereignty and destiny, not just trade. The standoff is now personal, with Trump and Xi on a collision course. A high-stakes meeting is coming soon. The world is holding its breath. Will they step back, or push each other closer to their red lines? The outcome could reshape the global order. Everyone has something to lose. Beyond technology, Taiwan stands as the most dangerous flashpoint between the US and China, a place where history, politics, and military might collide. The island's fate is not just a regional issue, but a global concern that could shape the future of international relations. After China's civil war, Taiwan became a self-ruled democracy, forging its own identity and government. Yet, Beijing has never wavered in its claim, insisting Taiwan is a breakaway province that must eventually be reunited with the mainland, by force, if necessary. The US walks a diplomatic tightrope. It officially acknowledges the One China policy, but at the same time, it provides Taiwan with defensive support, balancing between strategic ambiguity and deterrence. US arms sales to Taiwan infuriate Beijing, which sees them as direct interference in its internal affairs and a serious threat to its sovereignty. Each new deal raises tensions and prompts warnings from China. In May 2025, the Trump administration's plan to boost arms sales triggered a fierce response from China, with officials issuing stern statements and warning of grave consequences. Beijing declared Taiwan the first red line in US-China relations, making clear that any move toward formal independence or increased US support would cross an unacceptable boundary. For China, an independent Taiwan backed by the US is not just a political challenge, it's a direct affront to national pride and territorial integrity, something the government says it cannot tolerate. Taiwan, meanwhile, is deepening security ties with America, conducting joint exercises and upgrading its defenses to deter any potential attack, determined to preserve its autonomy. Taiwan is also a tech powerhouse, producing the majority of the world's most advanced semiconductors. Its factories are the beating heart of the global electronics industry, making the island's stability vital for the world economy. A conflict here would devastate the global economy, disrupt supply chains, and risk a catastrophic war between superpowers, an outcome no one wants, but many fear. Taiwan is where the red lines of both giants are drawn closest, and where a single miscalculation could have consequences far beyond Asia. The world is watching the standoff with growing anxiety, as leaders, analysts, and ordinary people alike wonder what the next move will be. The stakes could not be higher. Taiwan's future may well determine the balance of power in the 21st century. Today's tech standoff is just the latest chapter in a long US-China rivalry. For decades it was about trade. US companies made goods in China, Americans got lower prices, but as China grew, so did tensions over intellectual property theft, forced tech transfers, and unfair trade. Trump's first term saw a major trade war with tariffs hurting both economies. The mistrust never went away, shifting the fight from trade to technology. Export controls aren't new. During the Cold War, the US blocked tech to the Soviet Union. Now, the same playbook is used against China to protect America's edge. China sees this as an attempt to keep it down, and is racing to become self-sufficient. Both sides feel threatened, fueling a cycle of action and reaction. This history of suspicion has led to today's tense showdown. The rivalry is only getting sharper. The US-China rivalry is complicated by global energy politics. China is the world's top oil importer, relying on others to fuel its economy. The US is a leading oil producer, but global prices affect both nations. Russia's war in Ukraine reshaped oil flows. China now buys discounted Russian oil, undermining Western sanctions. Saudi Arabia, once close to the US, is building ties with China, shifting Middle East dynamics. China's energy needs push it to partner with US rivals like Russia and Iran, creating new friction. The fight isn't just about oil. Global trade networks mean any US-China clash ripples worldwide. Other countries are forced to pick sides or navigate the fallout. A trade war or tech split would disrupt supply chains and raise prices everywhere. The battle over chips, AI, and trade is a global event, not just a two-player game. The whole world is caught in the crossfire. This isn't just a distant power struggle. It affects your daily life. The phone in your pocket, the car you drive, the clothes you wear, all depend on US-China trade and tech. If tensions escalate, prices rise and shortages hit everything from electronics to medicine. The global economy is a delicate machine. A fight between its two biggest players can grind it to a halt. Beyond economics, this is a battle over what kind of world we'll live in, democracy and rights, or state control and surveillance. The rules set today for technology and trade will shape our freedoms and security for generations. The red lines drawn now are more than political threats. They're a crossroads for the world. The best hope is peaceful competition and cooperation on shared challenges. The worst is a new Cold War, or worse. Everyone has a stake in what happens next.